Hey guys, welcome to a very special episode of Pop Culture Unboxing. Today, we want to give you a preview of a new project coming to you soon wherever you get your podcasts. This is the first episode of our new show, Remember That One About? A show where we discuss movies that are near and dear to our hearts and allow them to take us on tangents across the cinematic landscape. In addition, we have a special guest, but you'll hear more about that to come. Look forward to your regularly scheduled Pop Culture Unboxing next week, when we promise we won't mess up our recording and force ourselves to announce a new project before we intended. Enjoy the show. Hey Ryan.
Hey Matt.
You remember that one about the answer to the question of life, universe, and everything?
The one that's only equals to 42 but never gave me the answer or
Yeah.
the question?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
The Martin Freeman classic movie.
I thought his name was Morgan Freeman.
No, you're thinking of God.
Oh. I
Yeah.
thought that was God at the end of the movie.
But here's the thing, Ryan. This movie was so big, we
Yeah.
couldn't just talk about it ourselves.
Yeah.
We had to bring in an outside consultant who was actually a professional in hitchhiking throughout the
Is
galaxy.
that who that is across from me?
Across from you, yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Zach.
Hi, Zach. No. We've never had Zach.
We've never
Other
had
Zach.
We had a
On-
different Zach.
But not on this
Special
podcast.
guest Zach.
We never had him
That
on
was
this
on a different
podcast.
process. This is Zach Greenleaf,
Yeah.
which,
This is
in my opinion, has a last name that just surprises me every time when I first met you. When someone told me your name was Greenleaf, I was like, that's like the form of two words. Like that sounds like your like ancestors came to this country and just were like, I don't have a last name. And they're just like, and they were like looking around like, oh, the forest, the green leaf. That's our
Are you
last
sure
name.
you want to use all of these jokes on our second podcast? You want to save it for the primary one?
I mean, I don't care. I can make the same joke. I don't care.
All right.
This one will be. We don't even.
I mean,
have
this
the
is going to
show-
come out weeks after.
Yeah, the show doesn't even air yet. I haven't
No.
even finished the logo.
I haven't even. Yeah, no, I haven't even edited any of the
Hi,
episodes.
Zach, how you doing?
living, keeping the opposite from happening.
Keeping the opposite from happening.
How has your journey across the galaxy been?
It's been pretty good. I picked up this hat.
Yeah.
It's great. It's been
What's
fantastic.
on the hat? I can't.
It is a tree
But
Do they have those
Oh,
on other
of,
planets?
of a place that I don't know if I can actually talk about for suing purposes.
Yes. Don't
that's
get us
super
sued.
mysterious. Is that like the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna bleep that.
Okay. So Matt, this is your movie choice.
It is, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Last week we talked about, and assuming everything comes out in the order we recorded it, we talked about Rush Hour and Rush Hour 2.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're talking about The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
And this is a movie from your childhood, huh?
Not necessarily my childhood, but I'm a huge fan of British humor.
yeah.
I've actually been watching a bunch of Monty Python's Flying Circus on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie holds a special place in my heart because Douglas Adams, the
Oh.
man who wrote the book this is based on, is just his. You watch things like Monty Python and Hot Fuzz, that very dry British humor. This is absurd dry British humor.
Yeah, it was very clear that this movie holds a special place because every minute that they told a stupid joke, you laughed very hard.
This
Like,
movie
you
is
were-
so good.
I thought you were gonna throw up at one point. Yeah, I guess.
What did you think of it, Ryan?
You know, I'll let Zach.
What
go.
was your take? What were your takeaways?
Zach?
at
What
the
did
end-
you
by the
think
end
of
of
this
it?
movie?
Obviously,
Oh,
by the
God.
way, before we talk, spoilers. This movie came out in 2005. If you haven't seen it yet, you obviously didn't care enough.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one. It was interesting.
Look at you with your.
That's the
note.
word you're going to go with.
Yeah, I'm going to go with
He's got
interesting.
already. Zach, this is Zach's first time podcasting.
Yeah.
He already does it more professional than we do.
Everyone, give not you two. Give him a round of applause for his. Stop! I don't want to edit these out. Everyone, give him a round of applause for his first ever podcast.
Yeah,
Start applauding. We know you're not. You're sitting in your car, like tap on the steering wheel or something. Cool. Okay, go ahead.
Right. Yeah, I talk a lot, so I feel like this is an easy transition.
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah, we're not very good at transitions anymore. So go ahead and just talk. Just
No.
go, and then I'll interrupt you. That's usually how it works.
That's usually how this works.
I kind of, yeah.
Oh, well.
I'm a
That's all good. I can usually keep a conversation going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was kind of odd with the dolphins in the beginning. With
You're going to single that out as the odd part.
oh yeah, dolphins are intelligent and terrifying all at the same time.
Yeah, especially their ability to just leap out of the water.
Yeah, I don't know why they went with dolphins specifically.
There's been a lot of stuff today about dolphins. I had a bunch of YouTube videos at work today about dolphins. I watched a Joe Rogan special where he told a joke about
You
dolphins.
think dolphins aren't pretty neat? My question is, where was the really big, long, stone-looking probe that was looking for the humpback whales? Where was that in this one? It didn't come to warn them or anything?
What?
We'll get to that movie.
Okay. I don't get that joke. There's a joke there.
Yeah.
There's actually not a joke. It's a reference to a movie we'll be watching at some point later in the show.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. Well,
But yeah. What stood out to you, Ryan?
I guess
I don't think you're allowed to say the Dolphins because Zach already said that.
There was a lot. I think the Alan Rickman thing is what caught me off guard. I saw his name in the credits, and I was like, oh, I wonder who he's going to play. And the fact that he plays basically
Marvin.
the robot version of me. Old
Marvin,
me.
the paranoid
Old
android.
me. Yeah, before I got into this.
But
whole
obviously,
podcasting
watching that
thing.
movie, Alan Rickman's not that short. Do you know who actually was wearing that costume?
Warwick Davis.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it was.
I knew it.
It's a really safe bet, especially in the 2005 area.
I also didn't realize that it was a little person in it. I thought it was just a normal person inside the robot, just on
No.
their knees or something.
Even
I
with the
didn't
huge
realize
head,
it
he was still a full head shorter than most of the other people.
I did not realize he was that much smaller.
Yeah, look at him.
Interesting.
Watch next time you watch
Matt,
the
this
movie.
movie sucks.
It does not. You take that back.
Well, I do got to agree that the depressed Baymax was the best part of the movie.
Oh, that's right. That's a Disney character. Baymax.
Basically, yeah. He was a little mini Baymax. How did you not love this movie?
I mean, I didn't hate it. It's just, man, did it break me halfway through.
What broke you, Ryan?
I think once the moment that I looked at you guys and said, is he telling me that mice created the planet Earth? And then it was confirmed.
Hold on.
But I guess they're not.
Hold on.
They're not mice.
They weren't mice. They were
were-
extra dimensional beings who projected their forms onto the Earth as mice.
Okay. But that's where it was going. And I was like, what is going on? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I'd be fine with that twist if they would have built it up a little more.
They did.
Like it's super obvious in the beginning because they're like dolphins are the third smartest being on planet Earth,
Yeah.
and then humans are the second.
I thought
so
it was
you
the other
immediately
way.
think
Wasn't it like humans were the third?
Humans-
and the
or,
dolphins
yeah.
were second?
Yeah,
yeah.
Because they wanted to make that joke very clear.
they did.
Also, I'm sorry. The one thing that really
No, they set it up
bothered me,
shortly into the movie.
not even halfway into this movie, we get to the first problem. They're like, the first problem we get to is this girl's being kidnapped because of the president of the universe, who is effectively a cooler version of Trump in
Yeah.
this day and age.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, he ordered the Earth to be destroyed. You think that that's going to be a bigger plot line in this movie, and the fact that it's dumbed down to a stupid joke about a gun that tells you about how women feel, it's just such a dumb joke, but it's so funny.
That's
to see,
that's what the whole movie is. It's dumb British
exactly.
jokes.
It's dumb jokes that shouldn't be funny, but for some reason made me just laugh a little bit.
because it plays them so straight.
And-
the part you both, I think, were howling at, the whale and the petunia, or the pot of petunias.
Oh my god, that was a joke that just came out of nowhere. It didn't
was so
deserve
good.
to be in this movie.
It was
the
so
whale
good.
was falling to its death, realizing what life is, and asking all the questions.
I was definitely hoping for more of a payoff with the whale because I thought there would be some kind of correlation with the dolphins, and it's just a throwaway.
No, the
10
that's
second
exactly
bit.
what I thought the whale was gonna be like a hero in some way.
No.
But nope, it's just a quick gag. Of a
the
dying
whale was the setup for the petunia joke. That was the joke.
That's the problem. It set up a joke. They used the whale for a joke. The whale was its own joke, and then they used a joke to set up another joke.
Isn't it great?
It's such stupid humor.
Oh man,
That's just like, why didn't more comics do that in stand up? Like,
I don't know because
Oh.
it's so good. Yeah, and this was one hell of a star-studded cast.
yeah, I was really
Martin
impressed.
Freeman, Sam Rockwell, Zoe Deschanel, Warwick
Rest
Davis,
in peace.
Stephen Fry. Who else we got here? John Malkovich, Helen Mirren, Bill
Who was
Nighy.
Helen Mirren in it?
She was the machine, the Deep Thought.
The Deep Thought Machine?
Deep Thought, the thing that was watching TV.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I was trying so hard to figure that out.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in this.
It was a pretty. I mean, it was a good.
You want to hear? Here's the
Alright
here's
film.
the cast in order of billing: Martin Freeman,
Mm-hmm.
Yassine Bey, who played Ford Prefect,
Now that was the
black
the-
guy.
okay.
Sam Rockwell, Zoe Deschanel,
Who I wish had more.
followed
films.
by Bill Bailey, who voiced the whale.
Yeah,
He was the
I
fifth
know
highest billed actor.
Bill Bailey is.
Is that the only thing he voiced?
Yes.
He's
That
a
is
I don't
hilarious.
know if anyone ever like watches like old British television shows.
Yeah.
He is he is a hilarious dude. He's
He
on,
was in
like,
Hot Fuzz.
9 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Yeah, he's in Hot Fuzz. He plays the
Yeah.
guy who's at the police station
Yep.
all the time.
Yeah.
Man, he's a funny dude. But
Yeah. But yeah,
the
it
moment
was-
I heard his voice in The Whale, I was like, that is exactly how I would cast him. In this movie, that's
Mm-hmm.
the perfect point to cast him.
yeah, it's just oh,
It's
I
also,
love this movie.
I got to give the writers credit. The jokes were like they were so obvious, but you didn't see them coming.
Also, I
until
think
they
the main
happened.
Vogon was Uncle Vernon from Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
It really does, doesn't
Like
it?
the fact that they do a cop out with God. They make that one dude is
Yeah.
God. They make you so heavily believe he's God, and they're just like, oh no, it was actually two mice, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the?
No,
What?
no. No, God is pretty accepted in the universe. Remember, God
But
made
they
the
were
universe,
they
and
were-
it made a lot of people very upset, and is generally considered a bad move.
But they put him. What's that?
Bill
guy?
Nye.
They put him as God. They were clearly
No, they-
showing to make it look like he was God because he built the planet, and they
No.
was.
He was just the guy in charge of this company that custom builds planets for people.
He's in charge of this company that builds planets. It was obvious. There's like, oh, this is actually God. And he's not telling.
No, they
anyone.
set up the whole
Yeah.
thing when they go to Deep Thought, and they're like, "What's the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything?" And she says 42. Well, what's the question? And she's like, "Oh, I have to build a bigger computer for this." She's talking about Earth. Deep Thought kicked off making
That's
Earth.
what I mean. I was like, I understand that Earth is the thing that's supposed to answer the question. Also, the question
You're
that
overthinking
gets-
this movie, Ryan.
This movie is
That's
so,
your issue.
yeah.
This movie is so it's so stupid. It's a stupid movie.
It
But
is
I was
beautiful.
looking for something more through it, and I do agree. I was thinking it was going to be something along the lines of it. They created the universe to solve the question, in which case they had to create a universe to solve the question and create like an infinite loop.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. I
and
thought
it
the
just
joke
like dropped.
I thought the joke was they just kept making universes because they couldn't get the question. And they
No.
got frustrated after a
No,
while.
they got frustrated because the Vogons plowed through Earth before they finished their
and the
equations.
fact the first joke they really set up in this is the fact that his house, Morgan Freeman's house,
Martin Freeman.
Freeman's house is getting torn down to build a bypass. And then the bigger joke is now Earth is being destroyed to build a bypass.
Yeah.
It's just the dumbest, like,
And the Vogons,
it's just like, my
the worst bureaucrats.
It's so, and that the solve the problem of the damsel in distress is the fact that we had the wrong paperwork. That joke made me so angry in so many ways.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Oh my!
There were so
was
many
great.
great things.
I will admit I'm glad I saw the movie.
I want to take
just-
a brief intermission from our conversation here to. I think this should be a regular thing. Change one letter in the name of the movie to change everything the movie's about.
What? Do you have it? Do you have something already written down? Did you write it
I
down?
have a couple.
All right.
There's the
Well, go ahead because it sounds like you have a lead here. I don't know what you're talking about.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to He Galaxy. It's the same movie, except that you're right. It is.
You
God
did
at
this
the
for
end.
Rush Hour.
I did.
You did do this for Rush
I did.
Hour.
There's also the Bitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where instead of going for a ride, they find a ride
Oh,
across the galaxy.
ew.
Listen, there's not much to work with in this title.
You just-
Okay.
That's like a Ninja
This
Sex Party
podcast will be
reference
rated
right there.
PG-13 from this point forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played a little faster and looser with our.
If you know who Ninja Sex Party is.
Of course I do.
That's literally like the plot of one of their songs is
Yeah.
that they get bored of having sex with everybody on Earth, so they go to the universe to have
yeah,
sex.
I know. What else is there? I had a couple I thought of. If you have any that come to mind, go ahead.
So what you want? So replace one letter.
Yeah, or add a letter or remove a letter somewhere and hit the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. and see what you can come up with.
I don't think there's really anything I can come up with that one.
I can think of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but
Okay.
I really,
A universe of just lice
It's-
and diseases.
yeah, I was thinking you're trying to find some kind of
Try to
STD
find the
cure.
perfect itch, the perfect back scratcher to soothe
What
that
else
itch.
we have?
You know,
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Someone, instead of science, they use
That's
magic.
the sequel. Is that the sequel to the Blair Witch 2?
Yeah,
I'd go for
Book
Hocus
of Evil
Pocus.
or something like that.
I never saw that one.
What?
Oh, you've never seen Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, not the full way through, at least. I've seen most of it.
Wait, wait, what? Have you ever seen any of the Disney films? Have you seen
Name a
Hocus
Disney
Pocus?
film.
Oh my God, there's so
Beauty
many.
and the Beast.
Yes.
the boogeyman one underneath the man of the bed.
What?
Okay. The
Yeah,
whole-
Disney originals.
I'm going off of like the Disney original horror films because those are the only ones I liked.
Okay.
What about what's the one where it's the Halloween Town?
Of course.
Yeah, Halloween Town's
I love
great.
Halloween.
Have you seen all of them?
I've seen all of them. Halloween Town 1 and 2 are the only ones worth watching.
Okay.
I would agree with that analysis.
Hang on.
Yep.
Go ahead, Zach. You start naming stuff. I gotta Google a bunch of these.
Oh, geez.
Disney Channel original movies.
I mean, Disney Channel original movies. Is a
yeah,
little
apparently
more,
that's the taste
tighter.
Ryan has.
I was gonna say that's a little bit more narrow. I know a bunch of Disney movies.
I do
mostly
too.
because I have two nephews that just
Have
want
you
to watch
seen
everything
Teen
that
Beach
comes
too?
out.
Of course I haven't.
Wait, I thought you were gonna say you did. I was like, wow, even I
No.
didn't see it. Oh, what about the first one? What about Camp Rock?
I feel like some of my little siblings had it on at one point. And I've
hate
seen
you.
parts of it.
Okay. How
Are you-
about The Luck of the Irish?
That one I do
Yes,
know.
I have seen that one.
Okay. Now You See It.
What?
That one makes me so angry. Do you ever see the movie Now You See Me?
The magic one?
People have made jokes about this, and I take it seriously. Have you ever seen the movie Now You See Me?
No. The
Okay.
magic one, right?
Yeah, it's about the wizards. They made a sequel. Do you know what that one's called?
Now You See Me Too.
Yeah. Why isn't it Now You Don't?
Because they tried it with test audiences and they didn't get it.
Because oh my god, I hate on it. What about
Well,
Wendy Wu? Have
that's
you
what
seen Wendy Wu?
No.
Okay.
Who?
The Cheetah Girls.
No.
Forgive me on that one. You've seen Halloween Town. What about Xenon? Xenon, the girl of the 21st century.
I remember
No.
that one. I don't remember what any of the plot is.
Oh, the one that is that's probably going to actually happen in my house someday. Smart House, or a house of
That
a
one was
robot
No,
what
but
I
you
house.
did see Home Alone 4, which is basically the same movie, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Man. Okay, some.
What about Sky High?
I have seen Sky High. Thank you very much.
a good
That's
That
like
one
the-
was decent.
you get the best cover by Bowling for Soup.
Was it, though?
Oh no, Bowling for Soup's best cover is Phineas and Ferb.
Of course, yeah.
That's not a cover though.
Oh wait,
They wrote that song.
Whatever.
yeah, well,
You know what I recently went back and watched, actually? Speaking of,
What?
like, not Disney Channel, but Nickelodeon. Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. To this day, the takeoff scene when all the kids take all the amusement park rides and fly them into space does not get me hyped.
The only part of that movie that gets me hyped is the fact that is when Sheen's like in the shower saying like I'm peeing in the shower.
Yeah.
That was the only joke that I laughed way too hard for.
As a
in that
kid,
movie.
you realize, wait, you can do that?
Wow, there's a movie called Double Teamed that was a Disney original.
Yikes. All right, and after that brief interlude, have we come up with any more?
Disney's always throwing those things right in there in their movies for those kids.
Horse
yeah.
sense. I'm sorry. I'm getting like
You're falling deep into the depths.
it's getting bad. That one was from before I was born.
But yeah, Douglas Adams and his genius work, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
You said he made multiple books.
Yeah.
There's like a
The
trilogy.
Restaurant
of
at the
these?
End of the Universe is the sequel. I forget what the next one is. And the last book is So Long and Thanks for All the Fish.
Thanks for all the. Oh my god.
Huh.
Yeah,
The opening song.
exactly.
That
Yeah.
makes me so angry.
It's
Does it follow the story of the dolphins as they left and wherever
no,
it was that they
I
went?
don't know what it's about, actually. I've only read the first book, which this movie is, you know how movies based on books are hit or miss with how they follow a book? Mm-hmm. This is one of the better movie adaptations of
So
a
you
book.
gave me the book. The book is really short.
Yeah, but it covers everything.
That's surprising.
It's that real snappy British writing.
Oh man,
Douglas Adams is a genius, and if you fail to see it, that's your failing, not his.
that's. I don't think so. I think that I mean, like I said, the movie is stupid.
You can't sit here and giggle
That
and
movie-
talk about Rush Hour being a great movie and then say this one is too dumb to be a good movie.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying it's a stupid movie. And hang on a sec here. Are we getting into a fight about Rush Hour?
Yeah,
Rush
we
Hour
are.
2 was great. You laughed so hard at that movie.
Because there were some pretty dumb moments in there.
That's what I mean. That's what this movie was.
Okay.
Don't get mad at me.
But you will agree it was a good movie.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
but the,
all right.
the Rush
Do you
Hour
agree
movies
Rush
have
Hour
a,
2 was good?
Yeah.
Do you agree Rush Hour 1 was good?
Yeah.
Liar, because Rush Hour 1's okay, not good.
Good is middle of the road.
All right.
Great or spectacular, which this movie is.
Don't you dare put the S
You
word
know,
on this.
you know that elevator they had in the movie that was like a better version of the elevator from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I
That
missed that one.
skyrocketed through the thing he uses to go through the factory.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That skyrocketed past spectacular. This movie is a classic. What from Rush Hour has spawned such a cultural phenomenon as 42?
You're fair. Yeah, Rush Hour wasn't a sci-fi film for nerds.
one good quote does not make a movie.
Kind of does.
I mean,
No,
it does,
I mean, it
But
makes
it
it
doesn't.
known, but it doesn't
this
make
is also
it good.
a great movie on its own.
It does when the number 42 came up today at work and someone said the answer to the oldest question ever. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And
You have seen the number 42 around before. I guarantee you.
I don't
You just
think I
haven't
have.
noticed it. It's that whole effect where like you learn a word and then you start seeing it
Is
everywhere.
it like the fact that when I bought a Toyota, I never saw a Toyota around, and the next thing I know, they're
Yes.
everywhere?
That's the same feeling. It's the
Oh.
same thing. You've heard that whole thing of 42. Like on the internet constantly.
I've
you
heard
see-
23. 23 is a big one, but that's because of that stupid Kevin Spacey movie.
Was it?
Yeah, did you ever see that movie?
I don't
The
think
Counting
so.
Cards movie?
Oh, 21.
Oh, was it 21? See, I guess I was wrong. No, 23. What's the
What
one
was-
with 23?
Michael Jordan.
It might be that. That might be it. There's also one. Wait a minute. There's also wait. Is
his
it
jersey
32?
number, like-
Yeah.
Is it 32 or 23? The one that has Jim Carrey in it.
I have no idea what you're
That's
talking
that
about.
one. Is it 33? I don't know. There's one where
Are you talking
Every-
about the Brad Pitt movie 7?
no, there's a movie that Jim Carrey said that it's like 33 is the answer to everything, and his whole life has been written about that, and it's a stupid film, but it's like Jim Carrey goes crazy over the number 23 or 32 or whatever the 34.
The number 23?
Is that what it is with Jim Carrey in it?
I
23.
don't know.
There it is. Bam.
What about these numbers?
What numbers?
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
What?
8675309.
Is that math?
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. The numbers, Mason.
What?
Now that you guys watch Lost?
No.
Yeah. Those also spawned a pretty substantial.
Yeah, but Lost was. I thought Lost.
Lost was good. I don't care what anyone says.
I thought people hated Lost because of the.
They
ending.
did because it set up so much and then didn't pay
Is it
any of
because
it
of
off.
Game of Thrones? Like the Game of Thrones effect.
Almost, yeah.
Game of Thrones experienced the Lost effect.
No, not
That
as
makes
bad.
more
no,
sense.
No. Lost was. Everyone kind of realized that by season 2 that they had no plans to pay off anything they had set up.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones made it through season 5 or most of the way through season 6 before anyone realized, oh, this might not be good. Game
Really?
of Thrones, I'm still annoyed about it, dude.
Oh, Game of Thrones could have ended correctly if they would have made the guy who becomes king.
Bran.
If they would have made it that Bran actually knew what was going on and was controlling Drogon at the end,
Yeah.
and he had set this whole thing up to become king at the end. That's all they had to do, and the entire series is phenomenal because now Bronn is the worst person imaginable, and you have the Mad King
He's
again.
the Matter King.
Yeah.
No, that, like, it was so. We've talked about this
I've
extensively
only
on this
watched.
podcast.
I
too.
only actually watched only season 8.
We actually have
Believe
a 2-hour episode from several months back where we discuss Game of Thrones
Yeah,
in
we did a
depth.
Game of Thrones
And
episode.
I think, and we've discussed it since then of how it was such a clear it was so clearly D&D. David and David Benioff and
They're trying to
DB
get out
Weiss.
of it. They needed to
They
get
wanted
out.
to get out of it so they could go work on Star Wars and work with Netflix and this and that.
Oh man,
and
I'm
since
so glad that all failed.
everything is. They had all these
don't know
things
if-
lined up after Game of Thrones. Every one of them fell through because of the poor reception Game of Thrones got.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Well, and-
lost everything.
In almost every show and almost every movie, there's like a handful of things that you can change that make it acceptable and not
Yeah.
terrible. But like just ending it, like especially with Game of Thrones, just the way you end it, where like nobody has any agency, like nothing really makes any sense. Like
Oh man, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It still makes me angry.
Yeah.
Like, and how long until we have another phenomenon like
I'll
that?
be honest. This is how exactly I wanted this podcast to work. When you came to me about this idea, I wanted us to see old movies and then us go off into tangents.
Okay.
And
Well,
see
we were
where
going there.
where the
Oh, yeah.
movie takes us. So, how did we get from talking about Hitchhiker's Guide Against the Galaxy to talk about how shitty Game of Thrones is?
I don't know, but but anyway, like
same
what
quality.
what are we gonna get to that is as what is the next thing that's gonna be as culturally significant as Game of Thrones was? I mean,
I don't think it's going to be a TV show. Actually, no. I think we might. And I think it's happening right now. The show is there's 2 shows right now that are happening that I think are going to have
I don't think any of them are.
the cultural significance that Game of Thrones had. And I'm thinking it's going to be this new show called The Outsider. If you haven't seen it, it's a Stephen King movie.
No.
Show. It's really good on HBO. That and it's going to be that, or I think it's going to be this Mandalorian show. I feel like this show's gonna
Mandalorian actually has a shot at it.
like I see Mandalorian getting even bigger.
I don't know.
Mandalorian's good, but I don't think it has the following. To be honest with you, I think Rick and Morty has
But
a better chance at that.
Hold
Like,
on,
they
here's the
swarmed
thing.
McDonald's because they didn't bring
Here's
sesame
the
Well,
thing,
Rick and
though.
Morty ruined itself though.
This is true.
The fans ruined Rick
Hold
and
on,
Morty
here's
for
the
that.
thing though. Game of Thrones didn't have a huge following in season 1 either.
Yeah.
It was the nerds watching it. It wasn't until about season 3 or 4 that everyone started latching onto it.
But I agree. Like I would agree with you on the Rick and Morty thing. But it's the fact that in Game of Thrones fans didn't cause backlash, didn't cause other fans to push away. Rick and
Yeah.
Morty fans made me not want to watch Rick and Morty as much anymore.
Yeah, same. I still haven't watched it.
It's the same way why me and Star Wars and why me and like all big franchises I watch. Like it's so hard for me to say I'm a Star Wars fan because Star Wars fans have made it hard for me to want to.
Honestly,
love
that's why I've
this
fallen back to Star Trek. Is like with Picard now is just so good. Have you watched episode 3 yet?
trilogy. No, I have not.
Oh,
I
all
haven't
right.
got
Well,
you.
we can't talk about that this not this episode.
We're not going to talk about it this episode. We
I
got
know
too
we're
much
not.
to talk about in the next
We do,
episode.
and we probably should
I found
wrap up.
the best
We probably
article in
should
the
wrap
next
up
episode.
our movie podcast. But
Yeah.
in closing,
I mean, yeah, we
your
got
guys' thoughts on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Guests go first. Let's go. You got a big.
You had a
paragraph.
lot of notes.
Yeah, I did.
Which is something that neither of us
Go
ever
ahead.
do.
I Go
I
over
wrote
your
like
notes.
a ton of stuff. Well, most of it was just like me remembering my thoughts because like I'll like in like 3 days I'll think of something better that I could have said, and that's just the way my brain works. But like I thought it was a good movie. It was something that was fun to sit and watch. I don't think it's something that like it's not like The Princess Bride where like if somebody hasn't seen it, you're not like, hey, you've got to see this movie.
Hard disagree, but okay.
There it is.
But no, I thought it was funny. It was good. I think all the jokes were backloaded. So like they're like the beginning was kind of like you're trying to figure out what's going on. And I think you miss a bunch of stuff, and then all the jokes are backloaded, and it's hilarious for like the last like 30 minutes. But no, overall, I think it was good. It was something that like if somebody wanted to watch it, I'd sit down and watch it with them. So that was my analysis on it.
I think once you guys, now that you've seen it, I think you guys will find it funnier on a second viewing.
Okay. Whatever you say, Matt.
What are your thoughts, Ryan?
Okay. I did. I'm glad I saw it. It was stupid. It was very stupid.
but it was
But
fun.
I do like stupid humor, and I am a kind of a fan of like that dry humor. So
Yeah.
it was funny for me. It was just really weird to watch them set jokes up with other jokes, which is just like that's you got to work for that one.
Yeah, you do.
And,
Real
I don't know.
snappy.
Like, and I liked it, but I didn't like it.
You'll
I
like-
will never watch it again. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll fix that.
Okay. But I don't want to watch it again, but I am glad I saw it. It was stupid, but
You'll like it more next time.
I mean, like I said, I'm not going to walk away being like, I can't believe Matt made me sit through that horse shit. Like, that's not going to come into my head. It's more like,
Okay, I
I can't believe
appreciate that.
Matt made me watch
The
that.
Star Trek ones will make you. Some of the Star Trek ones will make you think that.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
Well, specifically
I'll-
specifically Star Trek 5.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there
But
eventually.
don't worry, I'll be going through it the same way you are too. Star Trek 5 is really, really bad.
Good.
It's
Well, then
really
why are we
bad.
watching it? We skipped Rush Hour 3 because it's really, really bad.
But we're going to be going to other Star Trek movies after it that take place after it too. That's the problem.
I don't like
Because
this.
here's the thing:
This show's
It introdu-
canceled.
Star Trek 5 introduces the Enterprise A, which is in the next movie after it. So
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, Zach, thank you for joining us on this episode of.
Yeah,
remember that
welcome.
one about?
Yeah,
Welcome.
thanks for having me. I do appreciate you
Someday
guys
we'll
inviting.
hire you full time.
That'd be great. I'd love to get a salary.
Yeah.
Well, so would we.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
But yeah,
Hear that, fans? There's another homeless man you've created.
but I know the ending's been going on forever. But make sure you check us out. We don't have any social media stuff for this podcast yet. We might by the time it comes out. But you can check us out at www.popcultureunboxing.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Pop Culture Unboxing.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to plug? Do you care?
Oh, I've got
Social
nothing to plug yet. I hopefully one day will start my own podcast, but whenever that comes by, I
Got
will. I'll shamelessly plug it right
Twitter,
here.
Instagram, website.
Oh no,
any
I'm
of that
media? Maybe we'll just absorb you, and your podcast can be a part of
under
the
Trundle Productions.
Yeah, Trundle
nah,
Productions.
that's a possibility.
Well, you can find me, Matt, at Matt Ross VO on Twitter. That's where I'm at most of the time.
I'm just Red Steak Ryan.
On pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, because yeah.
All right.
That's pretty much
But
it.
yeah, that's where you can find us all. And hope you guys all make sure you go watch the movie if you haven't already, and have good movie watching time all the rest of forever.
Yeah. Enjoy movies. Life is
Enjoy
short.
movies. Yeah.
Life is short. Enjoy every movie, even the bad ones.
Yeah.